Hello to our viewers. My name is Harold Gardon. I'm the Millennial Wealth Planner. And welcome to the 60th episode of the Late Night
Wow.
Tambayan with PPG and MWT. So if hindi ka makatulog, no, dito ka na lang tumambay kung saan tayo mag-chill. And we will discuss personal finance and life in general. Partner?
Yes, ang bilis ng panahon. Sabi mo nga kanina, partner, di ba, we are already on the last week of October and dalawang buwan na lang, di ba, tatapos na yung 2020. And ayan, it's Tuesday night and choose to learn with us dito sa Late Night Tambayan. Ayan, partner.
Ayan, no? So, dito sa Late Night Tambayan, katulad nga ng sinasabi natin, no? Kesa na mag-hashtag Netflix tayo, itong 11 to 12, mag-hashtag LearnFlix tayo. At ang ganda po ng topic natin, we will be talking about medical insurance. So, kung may mga friends kayo, no? Na sa tingin nyo interested o sa tingin nyo naguguluhan, ano ba mga pinagkaiba na itong mga types of insurances, later di-discuss natin itong medical insurance. So, feel free to share and feel free to tag your friends and kindly send some hearts also, no, para maramdaman natin yung love natin, no, sa isa't isa. And syempre partner, ano pa ba pwede nilang mapanalunan, no, dito sa Late Night Tambayan?
Yeah, syempre, every late night tambayan, hindi mawala yung ating 50 pesos GCASH. So just share our live session from TPG and MWP Facebook pages and mamaya po, before matapos yung show natin, meron tayong tanong and kung sino yung nakapag-share una at saka makakasagot ng tama, siya may chance na manalo ng 50 pesos GCash. So sa TPG po, sa page po kayo magko-comment or pwede rin naman sa Prudent Generation Community and saka kay partner, sa YouTube channel po niya kayo magko-comment. So, ayan. So, hindi kalakihan yung 50 pesos, pero yung lagi nga sinasabi ni partner, ano nga yun?
Ayan, no, itong 50 pesos, no, sa 60 episodes, times 50, that's 3,000. Tas dalawa, that's 6,000, no? Hindi mo mapapansin, no? Natututo ka na, naiipon mo rin pala to, naiipon mo rin. And you can parang speculate, no? Or invest it kasi yung GCash, meron siyang GCash Invest, or through Coins.ph, no? Through GCash to Coins.ph, you can speculate into Bitcoin. At nung nag-start tayo dito, partner, kung di ako nagkakamali, ang Bitcoin nasa 7,000 USD per coin. Ngayon, nasa 13,000 na siya, no? So, pwede natin tignan, parang kung nagpasok ka ng 50 pesos mo, nasa around ano na yan, no? Nasa mga around 100 pesos na. Hindi mo naman siya money, no? So, okay lang in terms of if you speculated with it. So, yan, partner.
Ayan. So, sabi nga kanina ni partner, maganda yung magiging topic natin for tonight kasi napapanahon din siya and syempre kahit wala naman yung pandemic, kailangan pa rin natin ito. So, ayan, introduce ko na yung ating guest for tonight. So, he is the assistant. Ayan. So, he is the assistant. He's the Director Assistant Vice President of Pacific Cross Insurance Philippines. At ang natatandaan ko pa, so ako kasi dati sa Blue Cross or ngayon tawag na nga is Pacific Cross and dati rin ako naging part ng Blue Cross and ngayon nga Pacific Cross na siya. So, ayan, isa siya sa nag-interview sa akin noon. So, ang maalala ko pa kasi kakaiba nila ako in-interview kasama si Sir Erwin Eusebio. So, he's also one of the executive din sa Pacific Cross ngayon. So, ang natatandaan ko pa dati is pinaupo ako dun sa parang sa manager's table o kaya dun sa ano. So, ayan, ang ganda na experience na yun nung in-interview ako. So, ayan, so let's all welcome Sir Dwight Ferrer of Pacific Cross Insurance Philippines. Hi, Sir Dwight. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Harold. Good evening, Bill. Thank you for the invite and making me part of the show.
Ayan. Thank you rin also, sir, no, for accepting our invitation. And syempre, no, sir, meron kami dito na kumbaga tradition to watch TikTok videos na kinurate ni Mr. TPG. So, yayain na namin kayo na mag-react doon sa mga videos na yan.
Yeah. So, yung mga TikTok videos natin for tonight ay mga trivia sa mga lugar, iba't ibang lugar dito sa Metro Manila. So, yung unang TikTok video natin is about sa BF Homes. So, yan, hinahanap ko lang yung aking i-share na screen. Ayan, eto na siya. So, panoorin natin itong first TikTok video.
When you say BF Homes, ang una kong naiisip ay yung mga kainan. But I never bothered to think how the biggest subdivision in Asia came about. Apparently, a certain Don Tomas Aguirre founded the biggest bank sa Pinas. So at some point in the 60s, dahil sa sobrang dami na ng pera niya, he thought na mag-venture into land development. Ang idea ni Don Tomas, gusto niya ng suburban area na malayo sa business districts pero malapit pa rin sa mga trabaho. Kaya itinayo niya ang Bangko Filipino Homes Incorporated, which developed almost 800 hectares of land na back then belonged to the municipality of Rizal. Kaya ito tinawag na BF Homes kasi Bangko Filipino Homes. Now sa sobrang laki nga nito, the government itself declared BF Homes as its own barangay. And self-sustaining ang gated community na ito. May sarili silang private schools, 2 Catholic churches, sariling fire and police stations, grocery, palengke, etc. Kaya pag nag-lockdown to dahil sa zombie apocalypse, mabubuhay sila, makakagimik pa. So ngayon, alam mo na saan tayo tatakbo ha?
Alam mo kung BF Homes, ano masabi niyo dito, partner at Sir Dwight?
Ayan, siguro ako muna tapos si Sir Dwight naman, no? Yung sa akin, nung bata pa ako, pag dumadaan kami dyan, akala ko BF Homes, Bayani Fernando. So sabi ko, napakaswerte, napakayaman, no? Napakayaman pala ni Bayani Fernando. Yung pala Bangko Filipino siya. Eh, naalala ko, Sir Dwight, na partner, nung nandun pa ako sa corporate, ang laki nga niyan kasi may parang shortcut ata yan from Paranaque, tas Tagus mo, Las Piñas. So,
Yes.
yung nag-area, nagsisales ako, no, yung parang ching-check yung mga store. Pumasok akong Paranaque. Nung palabas na ako sa Las Piñas, ayaw ko palabasin nung guard. Pinabalik ako, no? So, learning pala nun, may sticker, no? Nung una, lumusot ako, yabang ko pa, uy, nakapasok. Pagdating dun sa labas, ayaw ko palabasin. So, ayan, bumalik ulit tayong Paranaque, no? Nag-long cut tayo. So, yun, malaki nga. So, Bangko Filipino Homes pala. So, kayo naman, sir, ano masasabi niyo?
Ako initially, if I'm not mistaken, siguro mga 2005 the first time that I went there. Kasi parang niyaya akong gumimik somewhere dun sa isang mga parts dun, yung central. If I'm not mistaken, dun nagsimula yung mga ano na yan yung mga central na yan Tapos, tsaka nila nag-open sa ibang lugar. Then eventually, I realized, sobrang laki niya. Tapos, ang dami-daming establishments. Imagine, you have Starbucks, you have Conti's, you have Jollibee, McDo, Shakey's. Especially now, no? Even yung mga sometimes high-end restaurants are located also in the area. Ako kasi, right now, I'm living in BF Resort in Las Piñas. So, hindi ko alam kung, it's the same owner. Pero I think, kasi since it's BF rin pareho yan, so baka isa lang ang may-ari. Kaya lang yung sa Paranaque talaga yung sobrang laki. Parang dito sa amin sa Las Piñas, it's just like parang 1/8 lang yata siya nung BF sa Paranaque.
Ayan. Ito naman, partner?
Yeah, thank you, Sir Dwight, at saka partner. So before ako magbigay na reaction, so mabilis na shoutout sa mga nanonood sa TPG page, kay Criza Torres, kay Laislin, Mike Apiahan, and kay Mikel. Yan, nakasama ko din to sa Blue Cross and yun nga, Pacific Cross, and kay Welly Manayon and Noel Lawan. Yan. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share our live session from the Prudent Generation and MWP Facebook pages. And yan ang maalala ko sa BF is nung nagka-client call din ako sa Blue Cross, ayan, actually maraming client dyan sa BF na client ng Pacific Cross. And ang maalala ko nga yung President's App, yan, ang dami talagang kainan, and pwedeng tumagos kasi pwede nang mag-exit dun sa pag galing sa Paranaque na side. Hindi ko alam bakit kahinarang partner pinabalik dun sa kanila. Pero nung ako kasi tumagos na ako dun sa Alabang, sa Zapote Road, dun na ako sumakay pa uwi. So ayan, isa nga siya talaga sa pinakamalaki, hindi lang yata barangay but as a subdivision, sabi nga dun sa video, dito sa Asia. So ayun, amazing. So yung second TikTok video naman natin is about din, trivia din sa lugar. At syempre dahil yung Pacific Cross nasa Makati siya, so about naman sa Makati itong sa video natin. So let's watch the second TikTok video.
Around the 1940s, a few years after the war, the government felt the need to boost our military ranks at yung part ng Makati sa outskirts ng Fort Bonifacio na ngayon ay mas kilala bilang BGC ang napiling settlement area para sa isang infantry group na bagong recruit from Pampanga. Tinawag ang lugar na itong Central Enlisted Men's Barrio or SEMBO. Noong 1954, another settlement was created and named after the special units of the AFP. Towards the east and west ay ang Riverside Enlisted Men's Barrio or REMBO. 3 years later naman, ang Special Engineering Group ng AFP was placed outside the fort. Tinawag nila itong Combat Enlisted Men's Barrio o COMEMBO. Lastly, gumawa ang government ng settlement para naman sa mga elite forces ng AFP, ang Panthers. Hence the name Panthers Enlisted Men's Barrio o mas kilala ng mga jeepney drivers as PEMBO. So apparently, may kwento pala talaga yung mga lugar na yan. At kung may kilala kang lumaki o nakatira dito, malamang may lolo o kamag-anak silang dating mga sundalo. So ngayon, alam mo na ha.
Ano sabi ko partner tsaka Sir Dwight?
Ayan, siguro si Sir Dwight naman muna.
Actually, I really don't have an idea kung bakit ganun nga yung pangalan niya. Kasi I have a friend before nung college, taga Pembo. May Comembo, may Sembo. So, as in totally clueless ako bakit ganun.
Ayan. So yung sa akin, no, sir, no, same lang din. Akala ko dati, ano ba itong mga Sembo na to, tsaka Pembo. Pero yung pala, ito yung nakakatawa sa TikTok, no, na parang siguro the Gen Z, mas mga Gen Z kasi mga nagti-TikTok. This can be a tool na we learn something, no, na trivia, hindi lang siya puro nga sayaw. So naisip ko lang, no, dahil mga sundalo pala, pag Pembo pala, no, parang ito pala yung mga elite. So baka yung mga lolo nito tsaka mga o tatay nito, no, ito yung elite forces natin. So mang-away na kayo sa ibang Embo, no, wag lang sa Pembo kasi 'di ba? Sila yung elite forces. So ayan yung sa akin, partner.
Yes, actually ako din walang alam before yung napanood ko yung video. Pero ayun nga, nung nakita ko siya sa FYP ng TikTok For You page. So ayun pala yung meaning ng mga embo sa Makati. Kasi ayun nga, di ba yan yung makikita sa mga placard or doon sa mga ng jeep. So ayan, kapag halimbawa babalik ko, itatanong yung mga yan, di ba, sa game ka na ba or sa mga game shows, at least ngayon alam na natin kung ano yung isasagot sa mga yan. So yun po yung ating mga TikTok videos for tonight, and thank you partner and Sir Dwight sa mga reactions ninyo. And yun naman, magbibigay si Harold ng mga updates. Ayan, partner.
Ayan, so sa ating mga viewers, no, again, bigyan ako ng updates about the market and some news. And sa mga nanonood na kakapasok lang, feel free to share and we will be discussing medical insurance. So kung may mga friends kayo na nalilito later, ano ba yung mga HMO, life insurance and medical insurance, we will identify that later. And syempre focus tayo, no, on medical insurance and the importance of it. So ito, kakalabas lang ito kanina, no? October 27, 2020, the Philippines now allows 100% foreign ownership in large-scale geothermal projects according to the DOE, no? So kanina may provision kasi sa constitution na pinapayagan naman talaga to, though normally ang alam natin, di ba, 70% dapat o 60% depende sa industry, 60-70% Filipino owned, pero this is part of the financial and technical assistance agreement. So ayan, kakatapos lang ng consti ko kanina, pero hindi ko na masyadong ni-review, no? Parang sakit ng ulo ko. hindi na kaya nung utak. Pero may mga cases kasi before, no? Based dun sa mga case digest na ginawa namin, na pinag-aralan natin. Ang pwede lang kasi mag-sign dito should be the president and kung sino man yung ka-agree niya, no? Hindi yung secretary. Pero I think this is still good for renewable energy kasi pag sinabi po natin na large scale, this is around 50 million USD kung di ako nagkakamali. And I don't think we have that money, no? Or aside from the money, we don't have the specialty. So I think it's open, no? It's good for our economy in that sense. Basta make sure lang, no, at the end of the day, yung Filipino people are still protected, syempre. Hindi to parang inopen lang tapos pinagkakitaan pero wala tayong napakinabangan. So hopefully yung goal nito is to lower, no, the energy cost and for us to lower din yung halimbawa yung Meralco natin, di ba, yung dun sa electricity natin mas mapababa yung presyo. Okay? And punta naman tayo sa PSEI. Naumpog po yung PSEI nung kahapon, no? Kahapon. And sabi nga natin nung Thursday, we're seeing na let's see, medyo mataas na, no? It's either dumiretso ba or bababa. Pero it created this parang candle, no? It created this candle. When you see this kind of candle, nakalimutan ko yung term kung harami ba tawag dito. Pero ang ibig sabihin nito, this is indecision. Kasi may shadow and then yung body niya manipis lang, no? Indecision. So hindi alam ng market na ano ba yung next ko? Would I go up or would I go down? And we can see, no, after the indecision, nagkaroon ng red candle o papaba siya. So we're seeing na parang based on this, no, baka tomorrow, no, baka dumiretso pa yung pagbaba nito. Baka lang naman. And the next na salo or support we are looking at, kung ito yung linya na yun, no, it's around 6,100 level. Kung bumaba pa lalo yan sa support na yan, we're seeing the support dito sa mga next, no, mga 5.6 level. So again, this is just my own opinion. This does not reflect the opinion of our companies kung saan kami naka-affiliate. This is not a solicitation to buy or to sell. Ano lang po to, no? Kumbaga sinasabi natin palagi, lahat ng nagsasabi ano bang mangyayari sa market, lahat po yan nanghuhula, no? Based on their forecast. It's good to still study the market and syempre at the end of the day, make the decisions, your own decisions para syempre walang sisihan, no? Kasi palaging caveat emptor, no? Let the buyer beware. Kung at least, di ba, pag nalugi, ganun talaga, that's part of the risk. Pag kumita, di maganda. Okay, so when we talk about lugi, no, nag-IPO din po kahapon ang Converge. Nag-IPO ang Converge at yan, ang sakit po ng IPO natin. It's down by, kung di ko nagkakamali, 18%, no, from the total, i-measure natin. From 16.8 to the current price, it's down by around 17%, no, 17% down. Hindi masyadong kinagat, no, compared ng mga past IPOs natin like Merrimart na nag-hyper, tawag nga doon, no, parang hyper IPO, no. Pero tignan natin kung magsa-stabilize to. Nakabili ako dito konti lang naman. So tignan lang natin, no. Meron kasi mga nagreklamo dahil yung Converge nag-IPO, tapos ang pangat ng service, naglolo ko. Tapos si Liza Severano, no, nagalit lalo. So ayan, parang may effect din. Pero tingin ko may sumasalo dito parang pag chinek niyo yung mga forum, may chuchupit daw, ibig sabihin yung parang papasok tas benta after mga 11 pesos, no? Pero let's see kung ano yung magiging future. Last na partner, sorry, medyo napahaba. Bitcoin, sabi natin every now and then we can check Bitcoin. Bitcoin now is around mga 13,000, no? 13,000 level. So, ito yung, kung di ako nagkakamali, nag-start tayo, balikan ko yung, kaya gumagalaw pala masyado kasi naka 5-minute chart tayo. No, yung day chart, kung nag-start tayo, partner, alam ko, mga May or June, ayan, no, nasa 9,000 yung, 9,000 pala, no? 9,000 yung Bitcoin, ngayon nasa 13,000 na siya. So, sinasabi ng iba, no, nung na-break na yung 12,500 level, this is the road towards the 20,000 level. So again, ano pa rin to, no? This is still a speculative investment or exotic. We shouldn't be putting all our money here. We should still follow, no, the proper asset allocation. Pero syempre, depende, no, yung minsan yung mga bata parang all in tapos swertihan pag yumaman. Pero if we do the proper financial planning or the asset allocation, at least kung just in case hindi siya talaga umakyat, hindi tayo maghihirap, no? Hindi tayo maghihirap. So yun lang, partner, and hopefully meron tayong value na na-share sa ating mga viewers.
Ayan, thank you, partner, sa updates. And yan, isa sa good news na naibahagi mo kasi, di ba, yung geothermal energy. So siguro, sana, kasi isa din yan sa magiging concern na sa ibang lugar, hindi na magiging concern yung laging brownout. Ayan. So, ngayon, before tayo pumunta kay Sir Dwight, so mag-shoutout muna tayo sa mga nanonood sa atin at meron mga nagpapa-shoutout dito. So, hello po, thank you for watching, Ma'am Angelique Pasahe. And yan, kay Joffrey Villarama, kay Angelique Fernandez, and yan, ayun po. Ayun. Thank you for watching po. And ayun nga, dito sa Late Night Tambayan, nagkaroon na tayo ng discussion, di ba, partner, about medical insurance. Pero syempre, iba pa din kapag magagaling talaga sa isa sa executive or boss ng Pacific Cross. Ayan. So, Sir Dwight, yung pinakauna po naming tanong before po tayo pumunta sa topic ng medical insurance, ano po yung kwento ninyo, sir? Siguro, this is also to inspire din sa mga tao before you yung background po ninyo before you became the Director and Assistant Vice President of Pacific Trust.
Okay. So, I graduated way back 2001. My student number is 97-01065-3. So, abisado ko pa. So, 2001, AB Mass Communications, graduate from FEU. So, that time, when I started, marami kasing, parang marami mga call center jobs available. However, parang tinulak ako ng paa ko talaga sa sales. So, initially, my goal really that time is to work in Makati kasi gusto ko maging Makati boy eh. So, I'm originally from Pampanga. So, luckily, I landed the job to a pre-need company. So, I started as a sales consultant. So, social yung pangalan, no? Sales consultant. But in reality, it's a rank and file for a salesperson. So, what we do is we sell pre-need plans during that time. So, I'm not sure if your generation is a bit familiar pa with pre-need, no? It's pension, retirement, and education. So, we also sell life insurances and rider plans during that time. So, yun, medyo siguro I was really motivated back then because I want to really succeed in life. So luckily I was promoted as a team leader, so I handled sales team, a small sales team, a small sales group with 4 members. Tapos I was promoted as a customer service officer. So as a customer service officer naman, what we do is we upsell. So what we do is we save those clients who wants to file cancellations and then we upsell them. So ang hirap, no? So nagka-cancel na, kailangan mo i-save and then paglabas, mabibentahan mo pa uli. Then medyo colorful yung career ko on my first company. So I was again promoted as the first training officer of the company. So I handle all the training for the salespeople. Then I was promoted as an assistant training manager. Then I remember one time I approached my foreign boss. Sabi ko, I want to go back to sales. So, ayun, there was once na tinawag ako sa head office sa Makati, sa Enterprise Center. And then, ayun, he formally informed me that I will be handling a team. So, I've been an assistant training manager. And afterwards, naging, assistant sales manager, no? And then, na-promote din ako na sales manager before I resigned to that company. So, supposedly, I don't want to be in sales anymore. So, I tried applying to Pagcor. In fact, I worked with Pagcor for like 9 months. Kaya lang during that time, it's very erratic yung naging batch namin, nangyari dun sa pag-deploy. So I asked my mga headhunters to find the job for me. And yun, after a few interviews, na-realize ko siguro talaga sa insurance ako. Pero this time, ayoko na sa life, ayoko na sa pre-need. Para naman medyo humaba yung resume ko. So I said, I'll try medical insurance. So in Pacific Cross naman, just the same. I think sabi nga nila, if you're good, you're good. So I started as a sales manager, then promoted to become a senior manager. And then now, assistant vice president and director, handling 2 departments. So yun yung aking life story if you're going to look at my background. So talagang 19 years of solid sales experience siya.
Ayan. Thank you, sir, for sharing your story sa mga millennials, and I think sa mga Gen Z, sa mga mas bata sa millennials. Parang totoo to nung bata tayo, parang sinasabi na if you want to succeed faster sa buhay, parang go to sales, nandun daw ang pera. And tingin ko parang pag nasa sales ka talaga, kahit anong mangyari, no, yung story ni Sir, from a pre-need, pumuntang corporate, nag-pagcore, and then balik ka ulit, no? Parang hinahanap-hanap mo siya. And siguro, nandun na rin yung destiny, no? O yung faith, no? Na parang wala naman atang, siguro Sir, ewan ko, no? Kung yung iba na, halimbawa kami as a financial advisor, o halimbawa yung mga nag-real estate na broker o freelancer, parang wala naman daw nangarap na pag after nila mag-college, bigla sila magsisales. Parang walang ganun, no? Pero yung mga nasa sales, no, pag nandun ka, parang makikita mo, uy, ang ganda palang training nito. And dito pala, you can create your own fortune na hindi mo kailangan maghintay ng, syempre, sa corporate, no, parang you wait for years or depende kung nandiyan pa yung boss mo. Pero syempre, may kanya-kanyang binabagayan din naman ang sales, no. So ayun, yung next question namin, sir, no, it's about the topic. Ano po ba, how do we define medical insurance? And maybe a short parang description dun sa difference niya sa halimbawa health card and other insurance.
Okay. When you say medical insurance kasi, it's a type of insurance that pays for all your medical bills. Like for example, medical expenses like inpatient, outpatient, surgical, sometimes dental, vision, and sometimes medicine. So in reality, when you talk about medical insurance, it's just the same as HMO and medical insurance. But what's the main difference? Bakit sinasabing, what is the difference of HMO? Ano ba yung HMO? Ano ba yung medical insurance? Di ba pareho lang yan? Okay, this is the explanation to that. Number one, HMO is company provided. Okay, so when you say company provided, it's not yours. So it's a group account. So it covers a company. While medical insurance is personal. Okay, so meaning when you say personal, it's yours. You can bring it anywhere. Okay, now how can we further differentiate that? Okay, now I understand for the millennials nowadays, they don't really think of getting their own medical insurance. Why? Because the company where they work for offers them medical insurance coverage, which is the HMO. However, once you resign, automatically, kasama din yung medical insurance mo or yung HMO mo, automatic, wala na siya. Now, this is the sad part. What if you retire? So even you are a CEO of the company or you are an executive of the company, so once you file a retirement, now what will happen to your medical insurance? It goes with your employment. Wala na din. So now, what will happen to your retirement benefits? So your retirement benefits will now be utilized or used for your medical needs. Kasi remember, habang tumatanda tayo, syempre, humihina yung katawan natin, there are some complications, and then, syempre, nagde-deteriorate yung health natin. And sad part is, let's say, lahat naman namamatay, Syempre, karamihan or 90% bago namamatay, na-hospital muna. Okay? So, that's the importance of having your own personal medical insurance. Now, even you have an HMO right now, imagine your limit is only 100,000 or 150,000. So, knock on wood, what if, for example, you have encountered a minor accident? So, it will entail you like 200, 300,000. So, what's going to happen now with the excess of the 100,000 or 150,000? Automatically, it would be coming out from your savings. Now, I'm not blaming the Philippine government about this outlook that we have, no? Kasi the way I see it ngayon, the mindset of the Filipinos are now starting to open up in going to getting medical insurance. Bakit? Number one, because of the current situation right now, the expenses ngayon sa mga hospitals, the bills, no? It's getting more expensive on a yearly basis. So in other countries kasi, this is given. So you won't definitely think about it, no? Magkasakit ka, I don't care kasi the government will pay for it. So it's some sort of part of their savings already. But here in the Philippines, it's totally different. So I remember last week that I managed to attend one of those webinars about being financially ready for upon retirement or things like that, and they give emphasis here in the Philippines that you should have a medical insurance, or else retirement would be the longest nightmare in your life. Instead, that retirement should be the longest holiday in your life. Bakit? Kasi no matter how big your savings is, in just a snap of a finger, like for example, the COVID thing, just to give you a background with Pacific Cross, the highest bill that we paid in one patient, okay, 28 days in ICU, I forget how many days in a regular room, we paid them 7.2 million.
Wow.
Even you have like 10 million in your bank account, then automatically, if you spend like 7 point, what will happen to your savings? So that's the main difference that probably the millennials really don't understand, or probably it's because, diba, we are not really into, we're not really into securing ourselves, particularly for medical eh. Luckily for the life insurances, medyo talaga nag-open yung minds ng mga Filipinos on that because that's some sort of an investment, no? So that's one thing that the millennials should think of. Kasi ito bakit ko sinabing savings? Okay. Let's say for example, you are paying na lang. Kunyari lang, let's pay a huge amount for medical insurance. Let's say we pay 50,000 per year. So 50,000 per year, if you will pay that consistently in 10 years, that's 500,000. Okay? Now, if you pay it consistently in 20 years, that's 1 million. If you pay it consistently in 15 years, that's 1.5. Okay, 30 years from now, how old are you?
60.
Okay? 60. Oh, sige. Triple bypass. At the age of 60, 30 years from now. 5 million. Okay? Insurance company will pay you 5 million. But how much did you pay again for the last 30 years? 1.5 million. So the question is, did you get what you paid for? Of course, yes. However, medical insurance is the type of insurance that you don't want to use. Kasi if you utilize it, it means you're sick. Diba? So that's really the main difference of HMO and medical insurance.
Ayan. So thank you sir no for defining din no. Siguro ano ko lang recap ko lang din for millennials no. 'Di ba? Usually sinabi nga ni sir, medical insurance versus HMO. Ang HMO ay parang under no na medical insurance kasi medical insurance should be paying for everything. Basta medical expense. Sinabi nga niya medical, dental, minsan pati medicines mo no, it can be included. However, HMO is normally, di ba, ito yung sa companies natin na meron tayong health card. Nasabi niya, pag nag-resign ka, syempre, what will happen is mawawala na yon. Though ngayon, pwede kang bumili ng health card, pero ang liit ng coverage. No? Sabi nga niya, if the coverage is around 100,000, kahit makakuha ka ng 150, 200,000, it might not be enough. Kasi kung it's a bypass or cancer, di ba, that's 1 million to 2 million. And yung magsusustain nun would be the medical insurance. Though sa Philippines meron tayong PhilHealth pero hindi na natin 'to pag-uusapan no kasi hanggang ngayon nga 'di ba may concern sila. And minsan parang for me personal opinion ko lang 'to, might as well take care of ourselves no instead of parang umaasa ka do sa ayuda ng gobyerno kasi baka mamaya kailangan mo na ng ayuda, nakapila ka, tapos hindi pa siya lumabas. And tama yung sinabi ni sir no, Sa ibang bansa, they pay high taxes, pero it's part of their benefit, no, as a citizen. And here, totoo, we are in a, kumbaga, kahit walang COVID, nasa health crisis talaga tayo. Dati pa, because pag nagkasakit ka, talagang it's not only a health crisis, no, financial crisis. And medical insurance is one of the solutions that we can look into. So, yan, partner. Ano yung next question natin kay Sir Dwight?
Yes, thank you, partner. And thank you, Sir Dwight, for sharing. Although alam ko kung ano yung medical insurance. Pero yun, thank you for sharing what is medical insurance and its difference from HMO. And yun, maganda yung sinabi ni Sir Dwight na you can take medical insurance kahit na mag-retire ka na. Kasi yun, with HMO, their coverage is only up to age 60 or kung nakapag-start ka na ng age 60, pwede siya i-renew up to age 65. And some companies kasi, hindi na talaga hindi na pwedeng mag-continue kapag beyond that age. So, yung iba for ano na lang siya, for special arrangement. Pero, yan, especially ngayon, di ba, yung mga ibang millennials na nagtatayo ng sarili nilang company, at least ngayon, o yung mga Gen Zs na nagbe-business and siguro later pag lumaki yung business nila, magkakaroon ng sariling company, at least, meron na silang idea kung ano yung medical insurance over HMO na talagang pang ano siya. Yan, mamaya, i-share naman ni Sir Dwight kung hanggang anong age yung coverage ng medical insurance. So, yan, Sir Dwight, yung next na tanong po namin ay, yan, who is Pacific Cross naman po?
Okay. So, actually, Pacific Cross kasi bagong-bago sa market to, ano? We started 1949. So, mga bagong-bago pa lang, 71 years this November. So we are actually one of the pioneers in terms of medical insurance here in the Philippines. So formally, we are named State Bonding Corporation, and then we changed our name to Blue Cross. And Blue Cross is the entity here in the Philippines. And we are under the Pacific Group of companies who focus more on its business here in Southeast Asia. So 2 years ago, the company decided that to unify the organization. So all companies under Pacific Cross is now named as Pacific Cross. So we have Pacific Cross Vietnam, we have Pacific Cross Hong Kong, we have Pacific Cross Thailand, and of course here in the Philippines. So Pacific Cross offers 3 kinds of insurance. One is medical. Under our medical insurance plans, we offer two different plans. One is HMO and one is medical insurance. Because we have two registered companies. One is Pacific Cross Insurance for medical insurance and Pacific Cross Healthcare for HMO. And then we also offer travel insurance. Okay, probably this is the next thing that you have to discuss also, no, in your segment. And then we also have personal accident insurance. Now, kasi in terms of when you talk about comprehensive coverage, Pacific Cross, I believe, no, till now, we offer the most comprehensive medical insurance in the Philippines. In fact, probably in the whole Asia, because it's comparable to the insurance standards looking at other companies abroad or worldwide. We are the only company who covers dollar-denominated policy. So we can cover people anywhere in the world. So imagine, let's say you want to seek treatment in Singapore, you want to seek treatment in Europe, you want to seek treatment in the US, then we can do that for you. We also cover people from 0 to 100 years old. So meaning, let's say even you are on your retirement age, we can guarantee that we will still cover you until that age, no, until 100. So mostly on the dollar plans that we have for individual, most of our clienteles are the upper class. So these are owners of different corporation and companies, CEOs, high-ranking government officials. And most of the expats here in the Philippines are all under Pacific Cross. So that's our market. Although we also have a peso policy that covers local benefits, no, or local, or if you just want coverage only here in the Philippines. So uh, we can say it's also comprehensive because comparing it again to HMOs, we have very high limits. Imagine for our peso plans alone, the minimum is 500,000 pesos and maximum is 1.5. For the dollar denominated policies, we cover from 500,000 US dollars up to 2 million US dollars. So, um, those are the benefit that you can get from Pacific Cross. So, meaning, looking into the HMO point of view, sabi nga, HMO means Health Maintenance Organization. So, parang pang-maintenance lang siya, yung 100, 150,000. But if you're talking about dreaded diseases or terminal conditions, yung 100, 150 is definitely not enough. So, isang laboratory test lang yan. But with Pacific Cross, we can cover that. Okay, so I think Bill could relate to that because he's one of our uh, productive, or sabihin natin, performing account executives way back before when he's still with us. So that's our background.
Ayan, ang ganda pala, no, sir, ng Pacific Cross. Yung una, nagulat ako, no, from 0 to 100 years old. Though, diniscuss to ni Bill dun sa last segment, you can check the replay, no, pero ngayon ko lang naalala, nga, no, 0 to 1 year old, and it's global. So, meron akong may nagsabi rin, na parang, ngayon, because of technology and because of the research, no, research sa medical field, halos lahat daw ng sakit kayang magamot na, halos lahat. Pero hindi lahat, no, halos lahat. Ang problema dito yung pera. So basta may pera ka, 'di ba? Parang you can prolong your life, no? And syempre, meron nga 'di ba, parang hindi ko lang alam partner, no, kasi Chris Aquino ba 'yon, 'di ba? Pumunta Singapore tapos doon siya nagpagamot, tapos ngayon bumalik na siya dito. So si Chris Aquino, 'di ba? Meron siyang pera, kahit na may sakit siya, doon pwede siya magpa-treat. So ang question dito, do we have the money? There is technology, pero do we have the money? And I think ang laki ng coverage na sinabi nga, that's 2 million USD, no? That's around 100 million pesos. Just in case na ka sa market na yon, just in case na ka sa market na yon. Pero katulad nga sinabi ni sir, per peso, the minimum is 500,000 and the maximum is 1.5 million. And I don't think may HMO na gano'n, no? Na alimbawa company plan na HMO, normally 75,000 yan kung hindi ako nagkakamali. So ayun, partner.
Yes. And maganda yung sinabi ni Sir na ayun nga, medical insurance, just like what Pacific Cross offers, is comprehensive. Kasi what I remember before, yun nga, meron akong naging client na, na-confine siya sa St. Luke's, BGC. And, ayun, hindi talaga kinaya nung niya, ng HMO, and nag-inquire sa akin. And, ayun, although merong waiting period for pre-existing condition, pero ayun nga, kung gusto mo kaagad i-cover yung sakit mo na meron ka na, ayun, dapat agad-agad, una pa lang, first year pa lang, or wala ka pang sakit, dapat mag-apply na with a medical insurance. Although, ayun nga, pwede naman with Pacific Cross na yung takeover coverage. Siguro mamaya, ma-discuss rin ni Sir Dwight yan kung ano yan. So, ayun, Sir Dwight, yung next question naman namin is, ayan, why would people get, siguro kanina meron ka nang na-share na, ayun nga, yung mga Pinoy ngayon, unti-unti naman nang na-open up yung kanilang mga minds in getting a medical insurance. And ngayon, what are the other reasons why should Filipinos or people get a medical insurance?
Number one, of course, it's not just for your security, but security for the whole family. Because remember, if one family member is sick, everyone is sick. Diba? Even on our own families, can you imagine if one of our family members is sick? All of us are worried, diba? Sometimes we are more worried with the amount of money that we have to pay. Diba? We are worried, magkano ba yung share namin dito? Especially if it's the elderly, no? And then, you're talking to your sister, your brother, tingnan mo magkano tayo dito. Diba? Then, if you visit your sick relative in the hospital, as if gusto mo na siyang paalisin. Para pag tinatanong mo siya, okay ka na ba? You wanna go out na? Diba? Probably we can do this at home. And then, if you're sick naman, diba? Instead na ma-relax ka or instead na, gumaling ka inside the hospital facility, the sad thing is, you're also pressured, you're also worried. Kasi remember, every single minute that you are inside the hospital facility, okay, kaching, 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 that's automatically money for the hospitals. So that's very important. It's about security. Second, it's medical insurance is indeed a savings. Kasi ako, just to share with you something personal, last July 21, I was diagnosed with COVID-19. So I was symptomatic. So initially, of course, what you're going to be worried about is more of how can I survive? Pero I never experienced being worried on how can I pay the medical expenses. Kasi imagine I was in Asian hospital. I waited there for 6 hours before I did the actual swab. 6 hours, ah. And then I paid 6,500. That's only for swab test. And take note, I had 4 swab test, okay, until it became negative. So if you're going to compute that, how much would that be? 26,000 just for the swab test alone. So, di ba, for other people, 26,000 is really a big money. No, but for others, 26,000 is still something, no? So, with our claims experience with COVID, the minimum number of days that the patient would stay in a hospital is 9 days. Okay? Take note, palit ng PPE yung mga hospital attendants, the doctors, the nurses. So, the minimum expenses is 500,000 pesos. Kasi, yung mga incubators yan, it's not cheap, to use that. Especially if you're going to use that or utilize that for the whole stay. And then, yun nga, yung experience namin, we paid one patient around 7.2 million. So, can you imagine if we don't have that much money or we don't have enough coverage for ourselves? So, if that uncertain thing happens to us, paano tayo? We're thinking about it already. Wala pa dun yung anxiety effect, na you're worried about so many things that you don't know. It's always been a big question mark. So, you're worried about where will you get it, or even though that you have the money, and then you will imagine, yung hard-earned money mo for how many years will be spent for that. Now, kung yung sarili mo, iniisip mo, can you imagine paano yung mga anak mo? Diba? Paano yung mga relatives mo? Especially if you are the breadwinner. So, at this point in time, we have to really be serious about it. The problem with Filipinos kasi, they would always think of medical insurance when they're sick. I guarantee you, for the last 11 years that I've been working with Pacific Cross, I think 60 or 75% of the inquiries are from people who are already sick. No? So, we're Filipinos are so complacent, no? We're so complacent, tapos pag nandyan na, tsaka lang tayo gagawa. So, that's one thing that we really have to look into at this point. We don't look at it as an expense, but look at it as a savings in the future. Kasi we'll never know. As in, even minor accidents would really cost a lot of money. Imagine, even those lab tests like MRI, CT scans would cost you around what? 20 to 35,000 pesos. So, di ba, if you don't have coverage, automatic lumalabas yung ganung yung pera coming from your end na tinabi-tabi mo. So that's how important, no? To get a coverage for yourself. Most especially if you're young. Huwag mo isipin na gastos yan. Kasi, especially for the millennials, you're starting to save, no? You're opening your minds to investment. Sige, invest ka dito, invest ka ng ganyan. Pag nagkasakit ka, sino magbabayad sa investment mo? Oh, especially if it's not critical. So wala din. So even though you have investments, other types of insurances, imagine who will pay that if you're already sick. So I think those are the reasons why we really have to be serious in thinking of getting our subs covered. Kung yung kotse nga, ini-insure natin eh, di ba? Kasi we're worried, knock on wood, car insurance. We're worried kasi baka mabangga, malaki nga gastusin mo. You're worried, baka makarnap. That's one reason eh, makarnap yan, syempre. Sakit na ulo mo. Pero if you have coverage to that, wala kang problema. Imagine, you are insuring your car, but you are not insuring yourself. Diba? So, that's one thing that's something that we really have to think of.
Ayan. So, thank you for sharing a very personal story, and syempre 'di ba hindi tayo nananakot pero this is really important, and hindi to parang sinabi lang ni sir na may kaibigan ako, siya mismo yung nakaranas. And totoo yung sinabi ni sir lalo na sa ating mga Pilipino, when one member of our family is sick, the whole family is sick. Talagang pinag-uusapan niya, kumbaga sira lahat ng plano mo. Kung gusto mong may gusto kang bilhin, gusto mong patayo ng bahay, gusto mong mag-abroad, pag may kapamilya ka nagkasakit, lahat yan, 'di ba? Ibebenta mo yung bahay o isa-stop mo lahat yan, just to make sure that family member will survive. And siguro isa lang din sa insight, marami kasi nagtanong, especially nung COVID season, talagang yung intense na naka-lockdown tayo. Sabi nila, Harold, malamang kay Bill, may nagtanong din, covered ba ng life insurance itong COVID? So unfortunately, ang COVID po kasi, it's not yet a critical illness. It's not equivalent to cancer, to stroke, to heart attack. It's a viral, It's a viral disease. It might not kill you based on the data, di ba? Parang ilang percent yung namamatay, pero ilang percent lang ang namamatay, pero it will kill you in terms of finances. And what can cover you, syempre, HMO, sabihin natin may 100,000 ka, PhilHealth may ibabawas, pero ngayon, di ba, parang nag-limit na. Paano kung 1 million yung bill? Di ba, binawas mo yung HMO mo na 100,000, binawas mo yung PhilHealth, di ko alam kung ilan yung PhilHealth ngayon, pero paano yung balance, And medical insurance is the one that can answer that. And at the same time, dito nakikita natin yung comprehensive protection or medical planning na hindi to iba't ibang product na parang pag meron ka na nito tapos na, it's important that you have multiple products for multiple needs, Katulad na sinabi ni sir kanina, sa kotse may car insurance ka, pagdating sa bahay, di ba, may fire insurance ka. So ganun din sa buhay natin, different aspects and different way of protecting yourself. So yan, ang dami ko na naman sinabi. So partner, ano yung next na tanong natin kay Sir Dwight? Yan.
Ayan. We are sorry to know, sir, you're tested as positive sa COVID, but thank God, ayan, you are
thank
fully
God.
healed. Yes, and your family. And yan, maganda rin yung sinabi niyo, sir, regarding what's the difference between medical insurance and critical illness insurance, because, at saka si partner din, nabanggit din yun na, ayun nga, sa life insurance kasi you can add a rider of a critical illness insurance. Siguro kung merong magtatanong, pero ayun nga, what if hindi talaga umabot sa point ng critical illness? So, doon papasok ngayon si medical insurance. And ayun nga, mas malaki yung... Yes, sir.
To add on to that, Bill, kasi ako, better if you have medical insurance and critical care coverage. Bakit? Let's say, if that uncertain thing happens to you, automatically, the medical insurance pays for your medical expenses. But the good thing is, since you can no longer work, the good thing is you have also a coverage for critical care. Let's say the face amount is 5 million, 2 million, or 1 million. So, di ba? You have an on-the-spot cash of that amount, X number of amount.
Yes.
Yun yung kinaganda niya.
Yes. And, ayun po, isa din kagandahan kasi with medical insurance, if you have a medical insurance, is to have an access of, and maganda syempre, pero alam naman natin ng hospital syempre at magamit yung medical insurance. But what personal experience ko din kasi, ayan, na-confine ako sa St. Luke's BGC, and ano siya, muntikang ano yun, ayun, appendicitis. And ayun nga, nung nagkaroon ng maraming test while I was confined, ayun, kinaya naman siya ng antibiotic. Pero ayun, sinabi nung doktor, naalala ko na kapag sa ibang ospital ako na-confine, sigurado daw, operahan na ako or i-appendectomy. So ayun, hindi lang kasi about makakapagbayad sa ospital, mako-confine, maoperahan, kundi to have the best access of hospital services and the best doctors syempre dito sa Metro Manila. Kasi ayun nga, what if mapunta tayo sa ganitong ospital, 'di ba? Ganun na agad yung gagawin. We are not naman sa mga doctors po pero ayun, yun po talaga yung nangyayari kasi I also have a housemate na ganun din yung ginawa, inoperahan agad. Sumakit lang yung tapos inoperahan agad. But sa St. Luke's PGC, hindi po ako agad inoperahan agad. Through antibiotic lang yung binigay sa akin. And good thing kasi hindi matagal yung recovery. Ayun. So, yun sir, Sir Dwight, sa mga gusto mag-apply or mag-start naman ng medical insurance, paano po sila makakapagsimula or makapag-apply?
Okay, you can actually visit our website. That's www.pacificcross.com.ph. So you can send your inquiries, and you can also send or send us some SMS or call us through 0917-544-9799. So that's the mobile number that you can call, so that immediately we can assist you. Well, one thing good about Pacific Cross is we have direct sales team, no? These are employees. So you are being treated as if you're a VIP talaga. Kasi automatic, there's one person that will be assigned to handle your account. And they are internal agents of Pacific Cross. So they are employees. Although the good thing is we also have our external agents. So these external agents naman are not employed with Pacific Cross, but they're also well versed in terms of how to service their customers or clients.
Yeah.
Sige, ganito gawin natin. For those people who will inquire and mention about the prudent generation, probably until December, we will give them discount.
Wow. Ayan. So, you can go to
discount na yan, ha?
.com, and then there would be a discount, no? Sabihin nyo lang, the prudent generation, no? Napanood nyo sa LNT, no? And you can get a discount. Nandun na tayo sa last part, no, partner?
Yes, partner.
So before we thank you, no, Sir Dwight, thank you po dun sa mga learning, sa wisdom. And before we go to the 50 pesos na GCASH, no, from MWP and TPG, no, again, feel free, don't forget to share this kung nanonood kayo sa TPG, and then later may question po kami, and then yung comment lang doon sa TPG. Kung nanonood naman kayo sa MWP YouTube, wala kayong gagawin kundi to comment lang doon sa YouTube, no, and kindly like na lang din, no, the live stream. So bigyan namin kayo ng time to share, and partner will give some announcement, and then after nun we'll ask the question. Partner?
Yes. Ayan, Sir Dwight, baka kayo po may gusto i-plug. You're looking for account executives, direct account executives. Yeah. Sir Dwight.
Because of the hello. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Ayun. So we are inviting those people who are looking for a career in sales, no? Kasi right now, since we are getting a lot of inquiries, particularly for the medical insurance because of the current situation right now. So we still have open slots for the account executive position, And if you have a background in terms of managing people, particularly managing salespeople, kasi mahirap mag-manage ng salespeople because all of us are salespeople, di ba? And salespeople are sharks. So we are also open for team sales manager positions. And if you want to become external agents as well, we are also open to that. Okay? Particularly, invite ko si Harold, no? Kasi alam ko medyo malaki-laki na yata yung portfolio ni Harold eh. So probably you can offer medical insurance as well to your customers or clients.
Yes.
Ayun. So what else? So those are the two positions that are available for now. And then, meron na kaming brand ambassador. Actually, kanina pa lang kami nag-contract signing. So, you will see that soon. And that's for Pacific Crest.
Ayan. Wow. Ayan, mukhang ano, no, napapadami yung portfolio na pwede kong i-offer kasi last time, it's about HMO and now, open din ako, sir, no? Kasi sabi nga natin dito sa late night tambayan, sa mga kapwa natin millennials, no, what is important is you have multiple streams of income na hindi lang isa, no? Just in case may nangyari sa economy or may problem, at least meron ka isa pang pagkukuhanan. And for me, no, the way we do this, or the way I look at this is not really just selling, eh. This is a mission, no, to protect the next generation, not only in terms of finance, no, pero ito yung health, no, and hindi natin maiwasan na if you want to be healthy, it is costly, no, it is costly, di ba? Kailangan mag-diet, kailangan mag-exercise, ganun din yun if you want to get well pag nagkasakit ka, no, it is costly, and yun yung isa sa mission natin, no, to lessen that cost. So partner.
Yeah, so ulitin ko lang, partner. Yan, Pacific Cross is looking for account executive. So, yan, if I will recall kasi, ako po, personally, tahimik akong tao. And, ayun din, that time kasi, nung nag-apply ako, gusto ko lang talaga ng sales. Kasi sabi nga dati, ay nandun yung pera. So, yun, trinay ko lang, nakita ko sa dyaryo, Pacific Cross, looking for mga account executives. And, ayun, trinay ko. Actually, that day, hindi talaga Pacific Cross yung pupuntahan ko nung mag-a-apply. Ibang company. Parang dahil kalapit na lang siya, so pinuntahan ko na lang din, nag-walk-in ako. And, ayun, the rest is history. And ayun po, maganda si Pacific Cross na company if you are looking for a job, and maganda talaga siya na to build your career. And yan, magkakaroon kayo ng mga magagaling na mentors just like Sir Dwight to assist, to guide you sa career niyo. So ayun, apply na kayo as direct account executive sa Pacific Cross. Ayan, partner.
Ayan. So ano na ang question natin, partner, no, sa ating mga viewers? Ano ang pwede nating itanong?
Ayan. So, ang itatanong natin ay, ayan, ano ang website ng Pacific Cross?
Ayan, napakadali, no? Napakadali po nito.
www.pacificcross.com.
Ayan. Kindly comment to win 50 pesos GCash, no? Bonus na lang po, ano? So, minsan may delay dito, sir. Baka meron po kayong words while we're waiting for them for our viewers, no?
Wala, I just want to thank everyone, especially the both of you, for inviting me, si Bill particularly, because he approached me, and initially I was half-hearted kasi sabi ko, bakit 11 o'clock ng gabi? Is it a different time zone? Are we catering to foreign nationals or Filipinos or OFWs outside the country? So sabi niya hindi. It's yun nga, for those people who are staying late at night. So I said, okay, so what's all about? So yun nga, sabi niya, let's talk about medical insurance. Sabi ko, okay. It's in fact, we really want to be ambassadors, no, of telling people about the importance of medical insurance. So for the viewers, please continue to follow and subscribe and watch the prudent generation. Okay, kasi ako for the last 3 days yata, tsaka ko lang siya browse, and I see that your topics are talaga, it's very very helpful, and It's very informative. Okay, and one thing to be successful kasi is for you to have lots of knowledge about so many things. Sa panahon kasi ngayon, hindi na uso yung sipag at tiyaga. Kasi kahit anong sipag at tiyaga mo, kung wala ka namang alam, it won't matter. So, it's best pa rin that you have knowledge about so many things. Okay, so never stop learning. Like for example, for today's topic, so at least somehow we have imparted to you something that you might share not just to yourself but to your family members. Most especially if you have elders at home that needs, for example, medical coverage. Eh kung lima naman kayong magkakapatid, hindi ba kayo makapaghati-hati man lang? Divided by how many members of the family, how many kids, divided by 12 in 12 months time, di ba? So a lot of informative things, a lot of knowledge that we have to adapt, especially at our age right now. So much better pa rin na as time goes by, we are consistently learning a lot of things. Yun, tama. Sabi nga ni Harold, in terms of earning, dapat marami kang options, marami kang pwedeng pagkunan. In selling medical insurance, for example, in here, as long as your customers are happy and satisfied with you, and let's say if they're paying for the next 10 years, your income is consistent also. It's perpetual. So as long as your clients are paying, then you are still earning. Okay? It's not just about earning. It's just about helping them. For the last 11 years, wala naman nagsabi sa akin, walang yaka dahil sa'yo, na-cover yung sakit ko. No? So, all of them are very appreciative. May mga, just to tell you a story, meron nga akong mga clients dyan, sabi, hihingi ako ng referral. Sir, can you give me a referral? Ayoko magkaroon ng kaaway. May ganun pa mga sinasabi sa akin. But when time comes after, hindi ko makalimutan yung client din eh. Probably after 2-3 years, nagkaroon siya ng malaking claim. And then that's the time na sabi ko sa kanya, sir, siguro naman bibigyan mo na ako ng referral. So it's really important as well for the millennials to really keep relationships. No? Kahit hindi pa bumili yan sa'yo, as long as you keep relationship with them, eventually, probably after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they might think of you again. And kunyari, kung kinukulit mo sila sa life insurance, kinukulit mo sila sa medical insurance or whatever insurance or kung ano may ino-offer mo, sa kakulitan mo, probably, top of mind, pag meron silang kaibigan nagtanong about something, ikaw yung may isip. So, that's very, very important. Kasi ngayon, the millennials should focus more on the results eh. Palagi dapat. Kasi, remember, at this point in time, every company doesn't need our best. Hindi mo nila kailangan best natin eh. What they need from us is our results. Okay? Sooner or later, if you will have kids, hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin sa anak mo, anak, I did my best eh, but I cannot afford to send you to school. Definitely, the kids will not understand that, even though you say you did your best. So, for the millennials, dapat isipin natin, it's always been the results that we have to really think of.
Nice. Ang ganda nung lalong-lalo ni last part, no, yung results partner, kasi 'di ba usually we say passion. Yung last natin, no, last Sunday, no, it's about passion, pero passion without result is irrelevant,
Yes.
no, parang wala siyang sense. So there should be results. So partner, meron na bang nanalo sa ating contest?
Yes, thank you Sir Dwight for those words at mga motivation and mga something that we could live by then. Ayan. And maraming salamat din sa mga sumali at sumagot, kay Miss Amy Fernandez, kay Miss Juliet Ko, and kay Miss Angelique Fernandez Pasaje. And ayan, meron din sila mga sinabi. Ayan, thank you Sir Dwight for sharing the importance of having medical insurance and what Pacific Cross offers. And sabi ni Miss Abby Pau, go Sir Dwight, greetings from Dads and Abby. And actually, sir, meron tayong nanonood na taga SG. Ito si Sir Albert. Thank you, Sir, for the insights and very informative. And
Thank you. You're welcome.
sabi ni Miss Angelique, health is wealth. And ayun, ito na yung nanalo natin, 50 pesos GCash. Congratulations. Siya kasi yung pinakaunang nag-flash dito sa ating thread. Congratulations Von Anton Busi. So you've won 50 pesos GCash. So hindi po muna medical insurance. Pero ayun nga, sabi ni Sir Dwight kanina, if you want to avail medical insurance, yun, you can have a discount naman. Just say the Prudent Generation kung mag-a-apply kayo. Ayan. Ayan, partner.
Ayan. So thank you again, Sir Dwight, no, dun sa MWP YouTube, no, kung gusto mo humabol, just take a screenshot and then message me later, no, sa Facebook page. So again, Sir Dwight, maraming salamat, no. This was a fruitful na segment at na-inspired kami, no. Thank you for the wisdom, hindi lang dun sa learning about medical insurance but also about the wisdom. So maraming salamat, sir, and thank you to our viewers. Hope you enjoyed the 60th episode of the Late Night Tambayan with PPG and MWP. So kindly don't forget to follow us in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest. Sa Shopee po, nandyan din po, so si Bille mo ko. So my name again is Harold Gardon. I'm the Millennial Wealth Planner and my partner is...
Yes, thank you, Sir Dwight, for being our guest on our 60th episode of Late Night Tambayan. So it's an honor na maging guest po namin kayo dito sa show po namin. And ayan, see you again on Thursday. Our topic is about jars, saving jars. So ayun, pwede nyo siyang gamitin din para mapag-ipunan yung pagkuha ng medical insurance. So same time, 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. And I'm Christiane, Temanel, founder and content creator of The Prudent Generation, and kami ni Harold ang kasama ninyo sa daan tungo sa pinansyal na kalayaan. Maraming salamat sa panunod. Good morning and God bless. Keep safe and